All right, folks, welcome in. We've got 3v3. This is going to be very aggressive, very fast. So the other set we just did, game one was like super chill. We got to do all the proper intro. Not going to be chill between these teams. We've got Team Vitality, who's one of the favorites in this tournament, up against Team Tag, who I think are kind of fall into that dark horse territory. And it's actually a little bit of a rematch. They did actually face before, and Tag was very close to getting more wins. I think they lost 3-1 in the qualifier. In the end, both teams ended up qualifying. You got the front positions. So front position for Vitality, we just talked about this. Hart's been taking all the pressure for this team. He's been setting up his teammates to carry. He's playing as the Koreans. We have Mihai playing as the Italians. Check out this build. Barracks right away. Taking straggler trees for wood. Brought in the Rhino super early. So he's going like super early militia. Hoping to maybe find Hart's woodline, which, ooh, he's going to find. Behind the players, you got Leary over here, the teal. Leary's playing as the Japanese. And then you got Hera over here, the blue, playing as the Hindustanis. So there is a little bit of water. You do need to dock and take care of some fish. But how much you commit to the water is kind of up to your preference. I would expect Hera to maybe play scouts and support over on this side against Hart. But Hart does not know what is coming. Mihai is sacrificing his own economic efficiency for this. This early barracks militia build is very difficult. You kind of hope you don't run into any Komodo dragons on the way. Komodo dragon is there waiting and might end up killing the militia. But from Hart's perspective, he doesn't know. Here's a tiny detail, though. Koreans get more vision on their villagers. So he's going to actually see this from slightly further away. And so if you see it from slightly further away, gives you a little bit more time to react. It's so important for Mihai to get some kills here. And guys, I gotta sneeze. Sorry, I couldn't get to the mute key in time. Oh, Hart sees something's up. I think he's just a little bit paranoid here. The scout also lost some HP, and here comes the militia. Kind of crazy game sense there from Hart to drop the palisades. And now the militia are here, and that's not there's not too much that you could do now if you're Mihai, except attack the lumber camp. You could try and go to another player. That might take a little bit of time. This is not the expected result. This isn't what he wanted. Nice job from Hart. Hart's going up for archers. Over here, Sito is playing Magyars. I would expect big scout support. He as well is going to dock. Like, you're always going to dock. You're always going to add fish. It's just a matter of if you go for additional docks. MBL is here playing as the Italians. My feeling is MBL plays water and Leary plays water on this side. We'll see if I'm right on that. But yeah, I think Vitality's the favorite for the set. The way this tournament works is it's a play-all 4 in the group stage. There's 9 teams in the main event. You play every single team. Hera does have Loom here, thankfully. You play every single team in a play-all 4. The top 4 teams advance out of the group stage into the playoffs later. And then the grand final of the 3v3 event will be in Hamburg, Germany. Just search for the Garrison to check it out if you want to buy tickets. There's also a 1v1 event there as well. So there's a lot of stuff happening in November in Hamburg, Germany. The pressure does go down to Hera. All it's really going to do is it's going to mean that he loses a house. It's not enough for these militia to engage and kill this. Now, if they become man-at-arms, it can. So this will be a bigger headache for Hera. Hart's building up the archery range. Mihai's build is absolutely disgusting, by the way. And Sato's pushing in some extra food. Nice teamwork. But the fact that he's up to feudal age and will have man-at-arms on this is not something they were ever expecting. Like, now you see Mihai's up, and Hera's probably like, wait, he can't go for man-at-arms, right? Thinks about it, probably realizes he will, and he gets the wall up on the woodline. Archery range from Mihai, double archery range, crazy army. Double checking in the north. MBL will play Navy. Leary will play Navy, so we were correct. And then, do we have a stable at all? Oh, wow, no. Sato is playing Fast Castle, Magyar Hussar. So, you gotta hand it to Tag. Like, if you do the same thing as Vitality, they'll probably beat you. 2 of their players have gone for a very unorthodox approach. The early militia build has not worked yet for Mihai, but could. And then you're going to have a Fast Castle from Sato, as Hera's just going to go for scouts. Now, fun fact, your starting huts here have no armor. Your houses get the armor. So the huts are actually extremely vulnerable compared to your houses. They have less HP as well. So he's just going to attack the hut for that reason. Art's going to play safe, get some walls up before he wants to move out, because he's expecting scouts from Sito. But Sito's back at home, building the market, building the blacksmith, definitely planning on a castle. Hera has so far stayed at home with his scouts to defend from this. So far for Hart, his archers have come home to deal with this. Like, they've done a lot of reacting. So I think Tag's strategy, I don't know if it'll work out, but I think Tag's strategy is pretty sick. Problem is the pressure is going to come their way. And I think that pressure could go over to Sito before Sito's ready. MBL just playing Navy against Leary. And Leary, I'd always prefer in a little 1v1 situation over MBL, but both civs are pretty strong there. Hera moves in with a Hawk to try and kill Sito's fish. And Sito has the ability to garrison inside the dock and play defensive for now. But Hera's scouts still waiting. It's like he's expecting a follow-up. They don't have vision. And now Hart loses his scout. That's what they were waiting for. They wanted to know where this army was. And now Hera will probably come this way to group up on this. MBL scouts here just looking around. Making them guess a little bit. Making them guess. A castle's going to be no problem for Sito. None whatsoever. You could also make a couple Hawks to fight back on water. Like, you got all this army from Vitality on land. They need a double right now. And they need it in this moment. And Hera has some weak scouts, rather. Italians are the slightly better archer civ. Once they've matched the armor upgrade of the Koreans, because they get that extra pierce armor. Right now, the archers are going to perform the same, because the Koreans get the free armor upgrade in. But now Mihai's getting his own. And Hera's scouts are really non-factor right now. A lot of work for the front players, though. Mihai's kind of wide open. I like the way he's positioned his base. Hera's going to try and run through. And maybe I don't like how he's positioned his base now. I think it would have been a better idea to maybe just fully wall the front. Hera's through now. Mihai's got some problems here. This is where Sito's going to have to come help. Hera now turns around with armor. Wants to jump on this. Wants to clear the archers. And he will jump on the archers, but he doesn't get all of them. I think the archers can fall back to the TC. Mihai should be able to just garrison there. But this is what you wanted of your Vitality. You're going double Feudal Age army. You want to punish with this timing. There's still probably some confusion on what other Sito is actually doing here. Because Sito still has not shown up. On the other side, it looks like MBL's taken some bad fights on water. That could maybe turn around. But I'm guessing with Leary's micro, Leary's got the advantage there. He's got a lot of weak fires in there. Magyar Hussars got to show themselves here soon. And here they are. Also will be some Hawks where Hera will try and hold onto the water. Hera will have a good castle age time. This is what I think the problem is for Tag. You just can't have MBL completely losing water. If MBL recovers water, I think this is okay. Hera hitting him would be a problem. But Hera is going to have more work for himself. I don't know why this elephant is dead out here, but like Hera's going to have a lot more headaches than we think because Hera's got to prep for the Magyar Hussar. He's got to prep for the archers. And his scouts are actually going the wrong way, in my opinion. I think his scouts should never go towards Sito. The Magyar Hussar player always has the castle. I think he should go towards MBL, who is walled, but still. Lots of armies advancing over here. So really unique strategy from Team Tag, man. They just have gone against the grain. They've tried to play off-meta style. It's exactly what you want to see in these types of tournaments. Is like the underdogs going for something different. Hera's scouts are never going to get a lot of value. He'll try and snipe some vills. I think Sito will let that happen one time, and then he's not going to let it happen again. And now the pressure's coming towards Hera. Hera could have some problems. Hera's woodline's an issue. I think he needs to market and buy stone for a tower right now. This is really dangerous. Because what he wants to do is he wants to go camels. But you can't house wall this out for very long before the units get through. And you really need a tower because the archers are going to be here as well. I don't know if the communication is there, but now Hart is losing some villagers to the archers here. Mihai's had an incredible game. And yeah, Hera's lumber camp's going to die. Hera's lumber camp's going to disappear. All these villas are going to die. His whole woodline's going to be dead. I think. I don't see what Hera does here, to be honest. You hope your camels are enough. That's it. You hope your camels are enough. You drop some houses. Your lumber camp will die. You click the vills away. This is extremely uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Hart's probably being told that he needs to help, but Hart really can't get here. Lumber camp's down. Vills are for the taking now. Horrible for Hera. His whole woodline's going to be gone. Oh, man. Also, Magyar Hussar here as well from Sito. Sito's killed 3 or 4 villagers over here, too. His whole woodline is gone. Hera's out of the game. Hera doesn't have the water either. If there's one player you want to focus on here, it would maybe be Hera, and they have taken Hera out of the game. That's amazing. And it might not stop there either, because MBL is still going to compete on water and have a good castle age time, and this pressure could go all the way to Leary, who's panic stonewalling. It could go back to Hart, who's dropped a bunch of towers. Crazy strat. Crazy strat from Tag. And let's see if Vitality can turn it around, though. I just think, like, the Drush distracted Hera and Hart so much that that attack that they wanted to get on Mihai came super late. They were never able to get to Sato's base. They were never able to get to MBL's base. Leary has to respect this and play in towards lands now. He's going to play Cav Archers. I really like what Leary's done. But the huts! The huts! People keep forgetting about the huts. The armor on the huts. We talked about it, bro. And the units are going to be through. Oh my god. That's such a funny thing, man. Dave and I have been screaming about the armor on these huts for years. All right? And every time we do, you guys are probably like, nah, that's not an important detail. This is just a caster being a caster. But that is like, the house never go. Oh, GG, bro. A house does not go down that fast. The huts do. Good luck with your woodline, Leary. It's an absolute feast. And this is as MBL is going to be fighting back on water there. And Leary's not going to have anything. Not how Vitality would have wanted this. And maybe the seeding for this tournament was correct. And Vitality is the underdog here because Tag has played this amazing to start the game. Yeah, MBL will come in full water. Mihai is having some problems here. He has been pressured. Hart is the... It's wild, but Hart is the only one who hasn't taken much damage, and he's the forward player. I think, though, that because Hera's eco is so compromised, and because Leary's eco is so compromised, that they should be able, and when I say they, Sito and Mihai, should be able to work together against Hart. Hera comes all the way over to help against the Magyar Hussar, because the Magyar Hussar will run away. Leary knows the crossbows are still probably out there. Water is lost for Leary. He will lose everything, which means MBL has a nice little boom. MBL needs some quick walls, which we missed. Hera scouts found a couple kills here. But it will be 2 TCs for MBL. And the crossbows for Hart still looping around Mihai's base. And Mihai's just been told, just wait, bro. Just hold for me. And Magyar Hussar get onto Hera's gold again. And Hera's camels just can't be everywhere. Oh, it's a massacre. It's an absolute massacre. Hera, he reboomed back up to 30 vills. And he's down to 23 again. And his woodline is still exposed. MBL needs a quick wall, which he's going to get. That should be fine to defend this. Sito goes back to the original woodline, which is completely abandoned. And maybe he won't find that after all. But it's just, can they clear Hart back here? If they can clear Hart, Hart was the only player that's a real problem. This would have to be Hart winning this game with full crossbowmen right now. A nice contribution from Hera. I think he's a little distracted at home, though, and his camels all die. He's getting attacked on the gold. So he reacts at home. He might have also been attacking over here as well. There looks like there was some damage done. But I think Hart doesn't have the support he needs, and the Magyar Hussar are going to mow this down with the crossbows as well. Leary just now moving forward with his Cav Archers. It is awkward for Sito. Because, like, Magyar Hussar get completely destroyed by the Hindustani camels. Like, it's not even close. But if you have the eco lead, and Hera doesn't have a working economy, which continues to be the theme here, eventually Hera just can't really make a camel. And yeah, this gets full cleared. What a start. What a start. It's the perfect start to the series as far as I'm concerned, because you have like Vitality being shown like they're going to need to step it up. The expectation is they are probably going to step it up. And then Tag clearly went to the Tag in the lab, dude. Tag in the lab, figuring it out, coming up with the strat, and just cooking up a strategy which gave them the initiative in every single age. I don't know how the rest of the series is going to go for Tag, but that's a masterpiece, dude. To gain initiative right off the bat with the Drush, keep the initiative because Hera had to react, and then, you know, the archers from Mihai went to where they needed, Sato went where he needed, and ultimately MBL, he did his job perfectly. He was like close to 50-50, maybe ever so slightly behind Leary, but once that pressure goes over to Leary, MBL is always going to win the water pretty much for free. And Tag take the very first game here in this series. Well played. Yeah, by the way, Magyar Hussar are crazy, 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 crazy OP. They should have never made this unit cheaper. They were already really strong. And yeah, there's my opinion on that. But the thing is, it's like, it's still pretty common to just have standard Magyar scouts play here. And I think that that's what they were expecting. That's part of what makes the strategy so strong. Hera's like, oh, I'll just go Hindustanis and play scouts and then into camels. Magyars are just going to play scouts into knights. That's fine for me. But yeah, the Magyar Hussar play, while it is in theory a little bit more risky, ended up being very good. All right, so typically the underdog teams go full send here. All right, we've got Sorokuma coming in for Tag. They've taken MBL out. He has the option to maybe try and lame on the front here. The front line, you are in this line for your team. We got Sorokuma, Slavs, Ethiopians for Mihai, and then we have the Jurchens for Sato. For Vitality, we've got Hart. Again, he's always the punching bag for the team. Hart's playing as the Burmese. Then we got Leary as the Portuguese. Then you got Hera here as the Franks. Do you go scouts from Hera's position, or do you go fast castle? Do you go archers from Leary's position, or do you go fast castle? I would assume Leary goes archers, Hera goes scouts, or fast castle into knights. Right now, with how much food he's taking, I think he's going to go scouts. Sorokuma going early militia again. So 2 games in a row, we have this like early barracks play from Tag. And Italians don't really have any major bonuses for it. The Slavs do get population space from their barracks. This is also the second game in a row where the Tag pocket is pushing deer for the guy who's drushing, as the guy who's drushing scouts. So that's crazy teamwork. Find yourself a teammate who will do that. Mihai's like, all right, I gave you 1. I got to go home and push my own res for my own builds. I think Hart maybe wants to play Man-at-Arms. He is pretty protected from this. He doesn't know it's coming. And well, Scouts still going to push in their deer. Militia are going to go this way, and the militia are going to head towards Leary so far, it seems. Sorokuma doing what he can to steal. He's stolen the occasional capybara. I think that with the amount of scouting activity from Sorokuma, they kind of know something's coming. Because if you have your scout that active, you're not pushing deer, which is usually just bad. Villager is loomed there from Hart. And Hart, just like the previous game, the first to get hit. But Sorokuma has to move along. No villager kills. We'll just attack the house instead. So we'll see what Sorokuma's build is. As someone who has done this a lot himself, you really do have to practice it, because the danger is you go for the early barracks and then you just don't have any res to ever go feudal. For now, Hart's going to have the food. The Hart probably still going to be able to get to Man-at-Arms, but you do have to permanently have 1 villager here to protect your house, which is super annoying. And Hart just playing Deer Push Simulator. Quick look at Hera's base. He's definitely going scouts. And Sato is full walling, and Sato is going to go fast castle. So yes. Mods told me, they said, we felt underappreciated for all the work that we did during Regicide Rumble 7 and everything over the past couple weeks. So we decided to stop the salmon for 1 game to see if people would notice. And from what I'm hearing from chat, it seems like people are noticing. And people are missing the mods. More militia from Sorakuma. What on earth is this, bro? This is crazy. One house is down. Heart's like, huh? What is this, bro? Heart's staying in Dark Age, by the way. Which is an interesting move. Is continually adding vills. I don't know if Sorakuma is going to have the food to ever go feudal age here. Guys just built the lumber camp. He does have a boar there, though, which his teammate doesn't need because his teammate's already in feudal. A small head ate all the salmon, yeah. We'll see if the mods can get some channel points in. That was my way of saying mods. The people were begging. Sorakuma, no loom. Because he made all the militia. And now we got the scouts from Leary here. And the scouts from Hera here. And it's easy snack. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, this is the risk of the build. He was long distancing the gold, though. So he does have loom on the way. So loom just came in a little bit too late. But I think, like, Sorakuma doesn't need to stay in this game. Sorakuma just needs to slow down Heart, and that's his job. Archers are here from Mihai, and there's not going to be a whole lot of support for a while because he has his teammate going fast castle. Hera's going scouts. Hera's scouts are going to be massing, sending forward. And then we're also going to have archers from Leary. Kind of nice team wall here with Heart. And he sends the archers behind it. He's fine. Yeah, Vitality's playing really strong. It just basically... They need... Tag needs to wait until they have a Castle Age player. And that's supposed to be the difference maker here. But what is the strat? He's stone again. He's going to try fast castle iron pagodas? So for the second straight game, Satoz said... I'm going to try and go fast castle unique unit. Wow. I mean, iron pagodas are a really strong unit. I think they're not nearly as cheap as the Magyar Hussars, but they are a very strong unit. Sorakuma's kind of fine with losing some vills right now. That's okay. What you don't want, though, is you don't want Mihai taking army losses or vill losses, and that is precisely what's going to happen. He's going to lose some military. I actually think Mihai is just overextending. Like, I don't think his army should be here. I think he's very overwhelmed at the moment. I don't know why your army is trying to protect Sorakuma. I think he's a little paranoid, but you've got Hera lurking all around. You've got Leary who's going to be coming in. They're going to be on the prowl. It's easier said than done. Militia are still actually out there from Sorakuma. Nice shot from Vitality to get some walls down all together here. And they actually prioritize the correct side as well. The other side's actually open. And there's a signal from Hera. I think he's like, yo, check that wood line with your archers. And there goes Leary. Sorakuma building outposts. Bohm says, I'm confused. Aren't pagodas buildings? Pagodas are a type of building, but it's also a type of unit. The question is, are pagodas the type of building that are often made with iron? Because that would be double confusing. Yo, thanks for the primes, guys. Welcome in. Hera and Leary have to be very satisfied with how this game has gone. But, like, as someone who's played in this map before, I had the exact same scenario where our team went the meta with scouts and archers, and then the player in the back had some ridiculous unit and just completely cleared us. Now, in our case, someone played melee, and they went, like, the, hey, man, I meant to pick Magyard strategy from the Legend of the Liar videos. And they went double stable elephants, which I think is still really underrated. Like, really underrated, but haven't seen it at this level yet. Sorakuma's distraction. Oh, he actually gets in. Kill the villager from Hera, too. And Leary's got a chase, which is not what they want at all. Hera needs to get his quick walls down, and he's just a little late here. And Hera just not able to keep up with all this constant pressure. I feel like even here we thought he was going to be fine. And then he's under pressure, and he loses a couple vills. Sorakuma will feel like he's a low contributor anyways, so he's very happy with that. Hera has to be careful. He's only on 4 scouts. He'll be in Castle Age in 30 seconds. Monks are on the way from Heart. I really liked Heart's adaptation to turn this, what was probably initially going to be some type of, like, man-at-arm play, into just some fast castle so we can contribute is really sick. And I think that might be the difference maker. Because if you have Burmese just playing monks, Iron Pagodas can't be close by. Right? Like, the Iron Pagodas are supposed to be the difference in the fight. It's not going to make a single difference if the monks are there. Which then means Mihai needs to snipe those monks. Which means he needs to be in Castle Age, which he's not, you know, at yet. And they're going to run away from Sorokuma right now. Let him die. But I still like the position for Vitality. Hera stables over here. Just one stable. Looks like he's going to boom a little bit. I don't think he's expecting to get pressured. There's some communication here from Sato saying there's vulnerabilities there. In your random team games you play online, you would hate to be red right now because you would think that your team is letting you die. But it's actually the best thing for the team to let red receive all this pressure because he's in the worst position. I think Sato will be checking this stump right now. Looking to see, is he going to overchop that wood line? I don't know if you want to wait that long. You might just want to attack over the wood line. Building slowly going to crash down here from Sorokuma. Hera's wood line getting hit. Hera loses one Vil, and he will need to bring some knights back here, maybe. And he needs more house walls. Iron Pagoda gets deleted, though. Yeah, you just can't engage against this. The monks are amazing. Going Siege Monk FC on frontline after you get 5 Militia Drush and lose your houses and have archers around is crazy. I actually think it's the correct play. Like, if Hera takes more damage here, fine. He's not the carry player now. It's Hart and Leary. Hart and Leary have to do their jobs, and they have to continue to push up the front here. And you do not want them to be distracted at all. And Hera dropping houses. Far from ideal, but he's doing the job. And Leary's bringing his archers back. Leary won't be in Castle Age as fast as Mihai, though. Mihai's got a really nice Castle Age time. Okay, be careful, though. The archers are inside of the TC. Red sets the rally point, not Mihai. So those archers could pop out around the sides. Like around the front here. Which would mean they immediately get splatted. Okay, they went to the back. Oh, man. Mihai getting his upgrades. Hera! He's got the re-wall, I think. I actually forget where they entered. But I think they got enough of a trap on this, and Mihai loses all of his archers. Really nice job. And Mihai probably wishes he would have had the army here. But again, it's like, how do you engage against this? Hart can 1v2 your Iron Pagodas and your crossbows. He's got the monks for the Iron Pagodas. He's got the siege for the crossbows. And this is before Leary even shows up with his crossbows. Damn. Guys, without Hart going FC like this, without him having monks and siege, I think this strat could really work. But it's just the perfect strat, the perfect adaptation to what they're up against here. It's really sick. Hart's got good economy as well. Like, it's really underrated. He will get raided a little bit by some Iron Pagodas. Does need to be careful. Now would be the time when you would probably lose a monk or two. But he's flattened the TC. He's flattening the TC, the tower. And Leary should be coming in at any moment. We should be see crossbows from Leary coming forward. Looks like Sato is still at Hera's base, annoying Hera. But yeah, there are the crossbows from Leary on the way. If Leary's here as well, if Leary's got 31 crossbows and all of this, Vitality should have their bounce back game, man. Yeah, it's just too many mangonels. Super underrated mangonel micro too. He's actually firing at slightly different times. A lot of people will click all at the same time and they'll fire all at the same time. I don't know if Hart did that intentionally or not, but I noticed that. Yeah, if Hart gets attacked, Leary has to defend. That way Hart can focus on the front. He does try and get a conversion. He does get one. Still pushing here. Still pulling back the mangonels to repair them at the last second too. Crazy. I think they should actually go for their own siege here. But Red can't because Red is pretty much like, I mean, Red's feudal. So it's not really an option for them. These mangonels have done 12k damage from Hart. 9 kills, but 12k damage against buildings. The Hearts probably needs another wood line, though. Uh-oh, eco lead for tag. Military count still extremely high, but eco count not looking too bad for Tag. There's just always been a random Iron Pagoda or a couple archers like in Vitality's base. But at this point, I think Vitality just need to say, I'm sick of reacting. I'm just going to push you. And like this tower defense is just not going to work. I think Mihai needs his own Mangonel to hop out from behind the towers and go bam. There's a risk that Hera will have the Knights, of course, as Heart's losing more vills. Still focusing on his push, though. Heart's now down to 20 villagers. Hera and Leary really need to deal with this for him. He's got to focus so much on this push. And Tag giving themselves a chance with this. One misstep. Like, if these Mangonels overextend and the monks are out of the picture, it's a much closer game. And still Mihai and Sato are going to head over to Hera, and Hera and Leary are waiting for him. And this gave Mihai time to add his own Siege Workshop. Yeah, so now, especially if they don't see the Siege Workshop, this could be huge. Hey, also could take down Leary. Oh, bro. Okay, he sees it. Now, that's actually where, ideally, you're hitting Heart somewhere. But Heart is like, why is he here? I don't know why he's taking this wood line. But Heart wasn't distracted. Iron Pagoda's through. Crossbows over here. Mangonel's still lots of focus. Tag giving themselves some chances here. Sorakuma forever feudal at this point. His eco has been nuked. And Hera wants to clear up. But does he get it with Leary? He's gonna get the clear up. And Iron Pagodas are probably just gonna run on through. But I think this army will be dealt with. Mangonel micro needed. Mangonel survives on 2 HP. Sorakuma's gonna repair it for him. Good teamwork there. Frustrating for Heart to not be able to get the weak Mangonels. But frustrating for Sato. He can never advance forward with his Iron Pagodas because there's crossbows everywhere. Huh! Leary distracted. Uncharacteristic for him. Now he's focused. And then he just... he solves that problem. He loses 2 units. Takes down a Mangonel. Heart super hard focused here as well. Man, the level is insanely high. This is super fun. It's like the micro is just constant, right? Like, there's so much movement. Heart is actually going to build a TC here, which is hilarious. But I guess it does protect the vills. Like, even just the Mangonel micro is insane. We're not even looking at anything else. Still waiting for Hera's Knights to arrive. They've been in the back of his base. Heart landing the shots. Heart's siege micro has been insane. Heart's had a ridiculous game. As Sorakuma saves the Mangonel. Where are those Knights from Hera? There they are. More Iron Pagodas, though. Iron Pagodas should win the fight. But I think if the crossbows are around or there's the occasional monk, the Knights win. So even there, it looked like the Knights might be able to take that. But I think Iron Pagodas, I think their gimmick is the first hit they receive gets blocked or something. So in a melee engagement against a Knight, they should be slightly better. Yeah, Heart won't lose his siege. Iron Pagodas just keep getting tossed in. And you can't really do that against the crossbow player because their town centers benefit from all the archer upgrades. Red is doing the right things. If this game goes late, he'll have stone walls and outposts on the sides. Like, this is part of the role of this position. I've seen some games somehow turn around on this map, but it feels a little unlikely because Mihai can't win any fights. Hera's here with the Knights, and now he can just straight engage. No reason for Hera to do anything but just take this fight. The crossbows will go down. The TC for Sorakuma likely to be next after the towers. And Sato taps out. And I think Tag realized, yeah, they had their opportunities. Their opportunities were going to be in feudal, maybe early castlage with the Iron Pagodas and the crossbows. But Vitality was able to hold on there. And honestly, guys, the big call out for me is Heart. Like, Heart had a great game. Like, Heart is playing the toughest role. You get early drushed, and he turns this into a ridiculous castle time. Keep in mind, there's like archers and Iron Pagodas that are all going to be coming in. Like, he was the shield for the team. And I mean, Hera and Leary both had some problems. But Hart just stayed on the front, even if he lost the villagers. I know his Vill count's not there, but he just had some really crazy engagements. I mean, his castle time was the fastest. Was it? Oh, no, obviously it wasn't as fast as Sito. But Sito had a free fast castle, 12 minutes. Hart, 12:15. Like, what? That's crazy. So really impressive from Hart. I wonder if they picked the Burmese because they want to flex into a fast castle into monks as part of the strat. Or if, like, he deviated into that after seeing what Sorokuma was going to see. Because, like, Burmese are a great monk siege civ. But I don't think you can necessarily come in here and, like, guarantee you get that fast castle out of the way. I don't know. That'll be a good question for Hart later. All right. So, as someone in chat dots me. Bro, allow me to get one guide for a second. There's a lot of things that people have said about me and have said towards me, but there is nothing more infuriating. Well, maybe not nothing, but nothing more infuriating than someone dotting me as I'm sitting here casting a game. I'm working on it. We're getting into the game. We got a certain order we're working on here. Okay, now the rest of chat is dotting me. Okay, I deserve that. But anyways, focusing up, MBL comes back in. In the north, we got MBL. I like him here. He's got to win his 1v1, right? I am curious if he's going to take the risk, or any team's going to take the risk to run down here to fish. Because for a while, most of the top teams would not have anyone fishing from the very north because of the walking distance. But then I've seen some other teams consider it worth the risk to have the fish. Romans then from Sato. Super smooth eco. I would expect that he's going to be in a good spot there. With the Romans, not in the super late game, but still in general overall. And then we got Mihai playing as the Dravidians. Likely the water player and likely to lose a villager on the dock. Leary here. Bill doesn't actually go down, but Doc does get delayed. Actually, Leary, you could get your scout trapped in there. Yeah, he moves along. That's very nice. That's very nice. Leary already has his dock up. He's already adding a fishing ship. So I think that Leary will feel like he's a vill or two up now. Leary, Armenians on the front. Hera right behind him as the Mongols. Hera could have a lightning fast feudal time with this. And actually, Hart did walk down here to dock. And so, guys, I think this is the right play. So I've seen a lot of games. And, like, I don't think your feudal age time is that delayed if you add this dock. And I think having, like, 3 to 5 fishing ships just working freely throughout whatever you do in feudal age really smooths out your eco. So I'm a little surprised. And yes, there are hills on the water. Very confusing map. Lots of water bumps out here. What was I talking about? Yeah, I think I was talking about the dock. I think the northern player docking will be a lot more common over the coming weeks. But it's a weird one where none of the top teams were doing it. And then I started to see some of the, like, seed 14 to seed, like, 22 teams do it. And then 1 or 2 teams got some upsets doing it. And then I think some of the top teams were like, you know what? Actually, we need to adapt our style. And we need to do it too. The difference here is right here, what we're looking at. Not the gifted subs from Nihil. Thank you. But here. MBL's a minute faster to feudal because he didn't dock. And he's going for men-at-arms. But Hart, if he scouts it and he defends with some early walls, will have the eco lead. So that's kind of the payoff. Is this slows you down, helps you later. You just need to, like, you know, not die. Yeah, ships do get hill bonus. I swear I hear a boar right now. Oh, wow. And Hera, no loom. And Hera's trying to bring in, I think this is like boar number 4 for him. He's going to have a lot of that hunt with the Mongols. Still have to be careful here, Hera. You don't have loom. Nice house trick. MBL going forward like a maniac. This is what people wanted to see from MBL. I like the energy. I don't know if it will do much. Hera brings in the boar, gets the food, drops the stable. We'll go for scouts. Leary's just going to wall and play water. Over here, Leary's scouted, and you can see it's going to be men-at-arms from Mihai. Behind that, he's going to have Sato playing water? Scouts and water. Interesting. Okay. And NBL's going to tower Heart. And actually, Heart preemptive towers. Will Heart cancel his? Heart's still building his tower. That's at 47%. If he cancels that, it might not be 125 stone. I don't have the exact percentages memorized. I always try and stay well below the 50%. But, like, he feels like this tower is useless now. He's just going to leave it there, and he's going to be pushed off of gold. Wow. I mean, Hera's going to want to come support in some way, right? Hera's got so many scouts. If MBL ever moves away from the base of this tower, Hera could always turn around to deal with that. Hera's also got to deal with this. So many man-at-arms. So much military on the lands right now from Team Tag. There's an overchop in the wood line for Hera. It's acacia trees. You got to do your tree research. Hera didn't do his tree research. And his wood line's an absolute nightmare right now. And acacia trees always have those gaps. You have to look for them. And Hera does have the scouts, but this is an awkward situation. MBL update. He's just milled his opponent's hunt, which is just mad lad behavior. Scouts coming in from Zato as well. And again, Hera under so much pressure right now. Team Tag just going crazy, dude. Win or lose today, they have come in here and they have just brought the energy. Hera has to fight back with Vils, praying he doesn't lose more. He loses a couple. But in the end, he does end up clearing. MBL doesn't have any army beyond this. He's just got an archer range at home, and his eco has seen better days, to be honest. So, but he's got the food on the front, and he's kept Heart away from gold. Heart is looking for another gold in the north right now, and he walked past this one. He walked past this one, and he doesn't want to walk far enough to find this one. So he can't find any gold. Meanwhile, Mihai making a couple galleys. Sato's going to make a couple hulks. Mill from Hera's. He's going to steal some hunt from Leary. Proper teamwork right there. And a nice fishing ship snipe from Leary. Heart, he doesn't have the gold. No, he does have the gold now. He was able to make enough archers to head over to MBL's base, but MBL will have his own archers here. Keep in mind, like, the fishing ships are still up for Heart, right? This was my point earlier. Like, he just has a guaranteed eco lead over MBL because he docked. Let's not forget about these Vils. Like, these 5 Vils from MBL are going to have to do something at some point. I think Heart wants to rush that tower down. He's making a move. MBL might be looking here. MBL has to notice this. He didn't fully wall in the tower. Oh, that's such a misplay from MBL. You gotta fully wall in the tower. He does have to react over here. He fights right before fletching because he's distracted and he's losing the fight. He's also losing the tower for now. I've not seen much from Hera yet. As I say that, nope, that's not Hera's army. That would be Heart's. By the way, if you're the guy who, after they lost game 2 with Sorakuma, if you're that guy who is like, why is MBL out? This would now be an opportune time to make a joke. Why is Sorakuma out as MBL is kind of struggling? Thing is, he's stabilizing, though, and he's got some big support. And MBL's not going away quietly. And Heart is going to just have to finish this tower here. And also, the archers seem to push Hera off the woodline again. Bro. How many Vils did MBL lose? He only lost 1. Might not like it, but that's what war looks like in 2026. Archers in on Leary's woodline. Remember, Leary's trying to win full water. That's his only job, is play water and nothing else. Hera was supposed to be like the big carry, swinging scouts from side to side. Hasn't had nearly as much as we would have expected, but he got hit early by the man-at-arms from Mihai. And Sato's scouts roaming around. Hera back to this woodline again. He says they have just made Hera's life very uncomfortable in every game so far, right? Like, even in game number 2, where Vitality was able to win, they've been able to find creative ways to get pressure. And I worry for them because, like, the thing is the follow-up was always there from Tag. Like, they always have that next army. They don't have, like, 1 or 2 attacks and they get rolled over and die. Like, they always have another army. Hera can't win this fight. That's a horrible fight for Hera. Unless I'm completely misreading the game, I think he gets completely cleared here. Oh, wait, he has full upgrades. Okay, so full upgrades makes that close. I think the biggest news for me is that Leary didn't completely win water. That was his only job, right? But you've had some teamwork here. Sato and Mihai both playing water. Leary was harassed on land. Hera makes a couple more scouts. We'll finally clear this. Finally. The scouts now come in and hit Leary. Again, it's like Leary's got to focus on water while also getting hit there by the scouts. I feel like it's time for an MBL update. We haven't done an MBL update in a minute. MBL's on 2 ranges. MBL's vills are chopping wood in the back. And Leary's woodline's an absolute nightmare over here. What a... It's like Vitality's reacting. They gotta have, like, some positives. They need to have a good fight. A water or a land at some point, right? T90, how Guten of Tag is it to be tagged today? Oh, it's Guten. Well, how Guten it is depends on how this game goes. Because I think Vitality are about to kill Sato's fish. And Sato has had otherwise an untouched eco. Unlike Hera, right? Like, Hera's been chasing the entire game. He got hit by the Man-at-Arms, and ever since he's been following. Scouts come this way. This is good teamwork here from MBL and Sato. Sato hasn't come to the north in a while. He shows up because there's skirms there. But Leary is still around with a pretty big navy here. There is some navy from Mihai. He's going to be in the one in Castle Age first for his team. Hart's going to be in Castle Age first for his team. But again, nightmares for him as he's losing vills. They must be wondering where on earth Hart's taking gold. Because the tower's still standing. And if you know the map, guys, you should know that the map always expands to the north. Now, Hart is stuck with only 7 vills on gold because you can't send more there. But at a certain point, they should realize that. Sato's fish, no longer a factor. Hera still has his fish. Hera is still Hera. He's got scouts. He's got farms. He's got a healthy economy there. I'm wondering what the priority is going to be for Mihai. Seems right now he's trying to sneak around Leary, try and get in towards Hera's fishing eco to equalize the fact that Sato's losing his fishing eco. Hart going through the middle to counterattack, but he can't because MBL is here. And he will find an archer kill because of the pathing there. MBL won't love that. But, like, at what point is it going to dawn on MBL? This guy doesn't have gold. Look, he built a stable in the back to send a random knight into the woodline from Hera. What a find from Leary, by the way. What a find. The fact that Mihai can't sneak past there to Hera's fish is huge. That is game saving, maybe. If Hera loses 10 fish, it's a very different game. Leary finding that is so important. MBL signaling in the north because there's skirms here. I think asking for a scout. There's going to be a lot of them from Sato. And they'll be upgraded in Castle Age. Hera's scouts. Here was some hard archers making it over to Tag's base. And for the first time in a long time, some actual momentum you can work with if you're Vitality. And MBL was not prepared for this at all. It was just full send, full attack from MBL. He gets hit by anything of value. He gets completely wrecked. Off the woodline, off the golds. He's done some damage, but he hasn't done enough damage to make up for the fact that his team is losing water as well. Mihai's down here with crossbows. Hera's going to need to help there because Leary's taking damage. Dude, these games are unbelievable. And I think MBL and Sato are going to have to work on this army. They simply have no choice. They have to deal with this. TC will go up. That will shoot that tower down, which is very smart. And now the Lycav deny Hera's TC. And now here comes the Haig Wong from MBL's stable. Random Haig Wong just getting sent into Hera's eco. Hera's got some nightmares. And there's a siege push from Mihai pushing Leary's TC as well. See, this is completely against the run of play. Like, you're not expecting this. So, you're focused elsewhere, right? Like, Hera's trying to deal with it. Micro's Lycav. But, like, Tag. Yeah, there's the signal from MBL. That's MBL telling his teammate, guys, I caught Leary and Hera both AFK. They're both AFK. Okay, they're not AFK anymore. Hera sees it. TC was delayed. Oh my god, crossbows are coming in. Meanwhile, Leary's got to defend his TC. Again, full fish boom for Team Vitality. Typically, full fish boom means you're going to have a guaranteed eco lead. But if you're getting raided like this, it's going to be extremely difficult. MBL finds another woodline. Finds a couple more vills. Leary's having a nightmare. Heart's coming back to clear this up. Cav now dives underneath Hera's TC as well. Oh my goodness, dude. Tag is going crazy. Look, Hera can't keep up with it. There's just so many armies. There's an army here. There's an army here. There's an army here. They might die to this. Leary used the top score for his team, is about to lose his town center. His only town center. Everywhere I look, there's a different mule cart from Leary with random villagers. Oh my god, what a choke point as well from Mihai. Sits in the wood line. It's a bad day to be a villager in the Vitality economy. You're safe if you're on the water, but if you're on land, you are just getting completely and utterly crushed. Lear needs a big shot here. He needs like a 1 for 4. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. He's still losing all of his villagers over here. I don't know if that's good enough. Leary's down to 35 eco. 27 vills. He does get 3. He almost gets 4. But, like, I mean, we haven't seen anything from Hera or Hart or Leary in the economy of Tag in a long time. And they just can't keep up with this, man. Knights are in again from Sato. They have no military. I think I would have liked to see Hera make knights instead of light cav. A knight is way better than a light cav, is way better value. I guess maybe he's been pushed off the gold so frequently that hasn't been an option. MBL lurking around with crossbows. Sato's always into someone else's base with another group of knights. An incredible game from Tag. This is also just like, these games have just been exciting. Like, the strategy we've seen from Tag, even in their loss, is just unique and different and like off meta. It's been super sick. Lots of respect for them. I'm already blocking off my calendar to cast every single Tag set. It's going to be a ridiculous amount of sets. Maybe what they're doing is going to become the meta by like week 4, week 5. But like, this is week 1. Most big teams are going to think we can be fine. We can lose a couple games and recover. And like, maybe for those teams, it's always true. But this is like practice stuff, man. You don't just like come up with this stuff out of the blue. I really like the chaos. I like this from Hera. He just needs counterattacks. Like, make Sato react for once. Problem is simultaneously there's going to be some more armies in his base, but this is a good raid from Hera. Sato's got a pretty nice eco now. Hera's going to mix in some camels. But what about Mihai, right? Like, you can't make camels in a team game if there's crossbows out. And there's crossbows out, all right? So I guess Hart will come over here. The Hera just got back on the gold as well. Nice micro. The Hart is here. Mihai's here. MBL's over here, by the way. Still trying to micro down Hart. Still haven't found those gold villagers from Hart in the north. The Hart will chase this down. MBL's back here, too. Still has the stable. Saving it for a rainy day. Also, the fishing eco gets, like, insanely inefficient, and they're not going to have the wood to be able to add fish traps because they're getting pressured so much, right? And get really, really, really bad. Now, I think before, like 5 minutes ago, yeah, if Tag got cleared up once, then maybe the eco lead could have been there for Vitality to just full stomp them the other way. But not anymore. Like, now at this point, the eco count's so significant, it's so smooth for Tag. They lose an army, they're always going to be able to replace it, even without the fish. That's so hard to do. You have to kill so many villagers to equalize the difference in having a fish boom versus not. As the whole team as well. Mihai's actually killing Hart's fish down here, which Hart will never be able to look at. Again, Hera, it's just light cav raids. Like, light cav, 7 base attack. A knight is 10 base attack. The base HP is way different as well. For Hera, I think he's just stuck making them because, well, he hasn't had the gold. And, well, here we are again for Hera. This nightmare just continues to haunt him. Leary's even taking some of his gold. Yeah, you can't be here. It's over. It's GG. Tag up 2-1. Amazing strategy from them here. And it's just, if I were to have to pick one single word to sum up Tag's game plan to deal with Vitality, it is just initiative. That's it. Initiative. Take initiative and then adapt from there. MBL, did he add the fish behind? Nope. He said, screw that. He went forward. He didn't end up winning the game with the tower, but he put Hart under some pressure. He asked some questions. He lingered back there like a disease. And the disease infected Hera and Leary eventually with the units from the stable. You had Sato showing up. You had Mihai with the man-at-arms. I mean, it was double man-at-arms, right? You had MBL man-at-arm tower. You had Mihai full man-at-arms. I think Hera needs to always be walled. You expect him to do a better job there to double-check the wood lines. But just any openings whatsoever, Tag finds it, and Tag dives. So, well played. Now, this gets very interesting from the overall standings. If Capture Age could stop being bugged, that would be really cool. So let me explain this fact. So the way it works in this format, it's a play all 4. You get a point for every single win you get, okay? MBL's in my chat saying I missed a big raid. MBL, there were too many big raids. I'm sorry. Okay, we're at minute 12. There's 2 villagers on a wood line. MBL kills one of them and Hera traps the other one. Is this what we went back for? Is that the big moment? Minute 11. MBL, if you jump into my chat and get everyone to riot, you best damn have the correct time, bro. Jeez. What a raid. Wow, what a raid. Okay, all right. We're going back. Oh, yeah. I see. Okay, actually, I gave MBL a lot of sass. T90 blinds in chat. I gave MBL a lot of sass. I don't remember seeing this. What was I looking at, bro? Oh, man. I was looking. Oh, my God. This fight. Damn. But, like, how do you even create that scenario as a team? That's wild. That's wild. They had 2 armies on this woodline from Hera, and then the other woodline as well. That's crazy. That is amazing pressure from Tag. Yeah, so it's at the exact same time that other fight. Wow. All right, impressive. All right, so, again, we have another game to play here. And Vitality's going to obviously want to get the win. But, like, if Tag gets this win, they end up with 4 points after this series, and then they never have to play Vitality again in group stage, which would be massive. Massive. Okay, MBL's in my chat. He says, I go sleep, bye. All right. All right. So these are recorded games. These were played. They weren't able to find a live time to play. They're playing as Rex. MBL very active in my chat that game after they absolutely stomped Vitality. He's saying he's going to sleep now. So here's my prediction. He didn't play game 4, and they lose game 4. If he didn't play game 4, maybe they still won. But he's no longer able to see, like... He's no longer able to see his epic plays and have his epic plays cast. Let's see. Maybe it's all just a bait as well. Okay, we're here. Chat, thanks for the energy. Thank you for overlooking my T90 blinds moment in the previous game. Here we go. But no, like, that needs to stay in the edit, by the way. Like, that was insane. They put so much pressure on Hera in that scenario. Here we are, game number 4. Tag up 2-1, which people might not have predicted. And we've got a generation where 2 players spawn on the front, which is not your typical generation. Apparently, that is random. So we have Leary. We've got Hart on the front. Hera's going to take the back position with the Saracens. And Sorakuma is in to Vil fight. And Hart picked Berbers for the Vil fight because of the movement speed on the Vils. And Hart, your mill. Attack the mill, Sorakuma! Kill the mill! Okay, Hart deleted it before he lost it. But yeah, if you're going to Vil fight here, which you see, you pick the Berbers because the villagers are slightly faster. All the scouts are going to show up. This is a very hard map to have a proper cast and intro to. But the meta here seems to be Vil fight in the middle. Take the food. You take that 800 food, and then you benefit. But it's tough, man, because you need consistent Vil production. And so, from what I'm seeing, Hart brought in the boar super early. Boar meat comes in faster than sheep meat. So, as weird as that sentence sounds, that means Hart should probably have one extra Vil. Because he's done a slightly better job. And yeah, they're still going to hard commit here. Poles aren't very good on this for this role because the Polish villagers don't regenerate until feudal. And by then, the fight's already decided. People are going to go full send here. So, also, I swore I heard a villager die out there. I don't know if it was to a boar or if I'm just hearing things. But Sorakuma's like, sup, bro. I'm just going to take all your food. And he's still going to mill there. And Hart's like, oh, man, here we go again. I kind of expect Sito to go feudal age. Well, initially I was thinking feudal age and Flemish militia. But he's just dropped the dock, so maybe that's not the plan. Mihai is going to play Shu, and he's going to play archers here. Obviously, archers could be really good. I find it surprising. I mean, maybe it's not surprising, because from what I hear Hart speak, he says his whole team just leaves him to be the punching bag. But, like, I remember Leary was playing Vil Fight before with Berbers, and he played insanely well. I bring that up because Hart isn't doing the best here. Hasn't been perfect. Hera behind this will probably fish boom, cram as many fishing ships into that pond as possible, and add the fish traps later. He did that in the group stage once with Saracens and played in towards Mamelukes. Hart loses another Vil. Also, I feel like Sorakuma's taken more of the fish in the middle. I don't think he's taken any boars or anything yet. But there's been too much to focus on. It's just complete chaos here, man. I think you look away for a second, though, you're going to get caught out. And, ooh, Sorakuma. Yeah, they clearly prefer Sorakuma for this role, right? He went for the drushing and the nonsense in that other game as well. But now Mihai's in feudal age. Now he gets the extra speed and attack on his scout. And he'd like to get a Vil. And Sato's here as well. And the villager's weak. They kill a Vil there. Mihai desperate, doesn't get it. And Sato wants it. And Sato runs away. He doesn't get it. It should be an archery range, right? Double range from Mihai. I mean, I would guess if they see Mihai's feudal age time, they know what this means. Because that's a really fast feudal age time. Nice save there from Sorakuma. That's a save into a kill almost. He's done an amazing job. Sorakuma is really good in these situations where you just have to save a militia or like a villager in the last moments. He's housed, but like Hart is super hard committed to this. Sorakuma is hard committed to this. And Sorakuma can stay here and take this food, and Hart can't because there's going to be archers. Leary, he's going fast castle. I don't even know towards what. Probably a stable. He'll be up to castle age pretty quickly here. There's a stable, and he's on the way to castle age. Archers have yet to arrive. You almost want the archer... You want to bait Hart forward, and then you want the archers to arrive. Like right now, Hart's like, I have full HP Vils. You have weak Vils. Let's take the fight. Let's win the fight. And then you want the archers on the other side, so he can't run away, right? Yeah, there they are. Yep. And now Hart's like, oh, shoot. We've been caught. It's a trap. Yeah, villager in the back is no longer his priority. Nice snipe there from Mihai. Hart, the vitality punching bag continues. But it hasn't even been hard every game, right? Like, everybody... Leary's gotten a taste of it. Hera's been hit a lot. Just been the theme here from Tag. Sato is just fast feudal, spamming fishing chips into this pond with fish traps with good eco upgrades. Hera, pretty much the same exact thing. This is the meta. If there's a tiny little bubble of water that you can cram a fish trap into, you cram a fish trap into it, apparently. At least if it's safe. And with the presence of the pond in the middle there, it is protected, naturally. Now, hard for food income. He can't take his berries now. He has to farm this direction, which gets less efficient. And he can't take any of the food here either. But that could change. Maybe it changes if Leary gives him some support and Leary's got the scouts out. Sorokuma was going to build outposts around, I think, and that villager got sniped. Sorokuma's played really well here. Yeah, Sorokuma knows, like, he contributes with vision. He contributes with like, all these, like, tiny details that give opportunities to his teammates to take good fights. And they want to know exactly what Hera's going to be up to. Hera killed an archer there with the Vils. And you can tell Mihai's distracted. Hera got to the other side, so he'd block in there. Nice micro from Hera. That's intentional. You go right behind him. You can surround the archer then. I think Mihai's a little bit distracted with Leary now, because Leary's going to have knights. And if Leary has siege, that's also a problem. And, like, Sato's not going to be in Castle Age to save him. Sorokuma's forever Dark Age, right? So, I think there's really good opportunity here for Leary to have a really strong minute or two. Like, Scorpions and Knights? That only becomes very weak if Sato can use all that food eco to make Cavalier or something, right? And you've got market going up from Hera, which the Saracens are very good at utilizing. I think Hera's just going to plan on playing camels here, which to me makes a lot of sense if the archers get cleared out. I think that's the key. If the archers get cleared up, Hera can dominate with camels. If there's like 30 crossbows in Castle Age, camels aren't nearly as strong. In fact, I think there's an argument. Let's say there are crossbows. I think there's a very strong argument that Hera plays knights with Saracens. Why not? You have good Castle Age knights. You don't want to play... I don't know. Maybe it feels weird to do, but I would consider it at least. And Mihai takes some losses on the back of his base as he's on the way to Castle Age. Helped mainly by the market. He does not have a lot of food eco. And it is just fish trap and fish trap and fish trap. 16 fishing ships for Sato. He's stopping. Hera's going to go for a 17th, but I don't know if that fishing ship can actually get in there. Nope. Nope. He's going to shift things around a little bit. Scorpions are out. Heart is going to TC drop. He's going to douche, bro. I think. Yep, he deletes his TC. Heart says, I do what I can for my team, bro. I'll be a clown for you. He deletes his TC. He wants to build it on Sato's face. I mean, if you take down the house, I think you can build a TC that reaches this. Yep, there you go. Don't trap Leary's scout, though, bro. All right, well, Leary's scout is going to stay there for a while. So there he goes. He lives there now. He's got a mill for the farms. He's got a lumber camp. This does mean units can run in, though. Is that not really dumb? I don't know. Like, if an army runs through here and hits Hera's fish, it now looks super vulnerable. He is going to wall it up. The idea is Sato's taking some amount of damage, and Hera's taking 0. And Leary's taking 0. So as long as Hart disrupts them, he's happy. The Flemish militia will go this way to try and defend from the knights. Leary's knights will maybe have the speed to get away. Yeah, I mean, that's still some nice value. The crossbow... Oh my God! I can't believe he deleted his TC. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. If the TC was there, the crossbows could never go into the fish. That's the main reason the fish were protected, was because of your TC being there. Brother. All the safe eco is gone. This is when meta players try and be off meta. Well, hold on. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. It's fine. I think. Oh my God, bro. What a disaster for the... I can't believe it. Oh my God. Look how weak the vills are. These are all the vills that were saved in the Vill War earlier. And it's just Palisade Gates. It does nothing. This is kind of funny. I'm not trying to pile on here, but Heart, I've been trying to compliment him as much as possible because I feel like he's not respected as much as the other two, but the worst part is what if like Hera or Leary told him to do it? And now everyone's like, what's happening? But he's just... His TC will go down, and the units are in, and Hera's Fish Boom is disrupted. Heavily, too. Heavily. Like, just take taking the traps is enough. They should actually be focusing down the traps. They're not doing so. Hera's going Mameluke, which is a really dangerous unit. So they really don't want Hera to have an untouched fish trap eco. They buffed fish traps, though. They used to be a lot, like, weaker. When I say buffed, I mean the HP. I think they're harder to snipe now, but still Hera's got some idols there, and that's a nightmare. Also, we should start checking. Does Hart have any vills remaining? Okay, so he will not be defeated. But it will feel like it. Oh. I mean, poor Hart has been douched by Licks so many times. And Rubenstock and stuff. He's like, mate, they make it look so easy. It's not even about Hart. Like, Hart's never going to contribute much to this game, but it's about Hera's Fish Boom getting disrupted. Hera's eco is still really good, but like Leary got hit on gold, and what a disaster for Vitality. Oh my god. And GG. Huge win for Tag. Huge win for Tag to start off the group stage. Amazing result. Their preparation pays off, and they win 3-1. Again, the benefit here is if you win your series, you get an additional point. So you get the 3 wins for the in-game wins, and then the series win as well. They get 4 wins from that. Vitality sitting on 1. Now, there will be a lot more rounds. Vitality is going to be extra motivated and extra hungry and whatnot. But I was really impressed with Tag today. I felt like they were firing on all cylinders. Their strategy was amazing. Their tempo was incredible. Like, who would have thought a team could come in here and out-tempo Vitality in terms of the pacing of the game? They were just so aggressive. All the tiny details were there. And by the way, if this game is closer, Sorakuma is making monks from this position with Aztecs and would be able to contribute too. So now I think what opened up the opportunity to make this game like be such a landslide victory was Hart deciding to TC drop. Like, this is why people have a safe Fish Boom, because the TCs are protecting everything. What do you guys think? If Hart plays normal from here, what happens? Let's think. I mean, if Hart plays normal from here, I think it's a much closer game. I still think Tag have a slight lead, but like Hera, the weird thing was I wasn't even sure Hera was going for Mamelukes. I guess he was, but like the tower was forced. Leary lost some vills on gold. Like, a lot of the things that transpired here was because of the TC drop. So I think, like, I'm not going to say that like Vitality's definitely going to win. I would probably say that the game is like 55-45 for Tag. And then once you just leave this wide open, that changes to what it became. But like, it's funny. He thought, oh, TC drop makes sense because I'm useless otherwise. And then the second his TC was gone, it was probably like me. You're like, wait a second. This is seeming really vulnerable. He then tries to wall it up, but then like, too late. Painful. Painful. But huge for Tag. Now, if you're like Vitality, you've got to step it up, right? You have plenty of rounds to do so, but you got to step it up. If you're Tag, Vitality's out of the way, and you've 4 wins. So, Vitality playing like that, I don't care if someone named Tim Jr. the Third in chat. Sorry, Tim. I don't care if you say Vitality wasn't 100%. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. It doesn't matter, really, as far as I'm concerned. You get 4 points. 4 points with this format is crazy, and then you never need to play Vitality again which other teams are going to have to do. So, yeah, Tag maybe, it's still super, super, super early, but Tag may be one of the favorites to get top 4 if they can continue doing that. All right, a couple reminders here. So we got like basically this tournament over the next 5 weeks to determine the rest of this bracket. I won't be covering every single set, but I'll be covering as much as I can and be doing quite a bit of casting. So again, shout out to Daniela AOE, who's in the title of this stream. Shout out to Arbase and Sieste putting in all the work behind the scenes on this event. Sorry, this is the wrong thing. Guys, I thought that was going to be 2-2 because MVL said, okay, I go sleep. He's such a troll. When MVL watched all of game 3 and then said like, okay, I'm going to bed come game 4, I was actually kind of annoyed with him, but now I'm not. So yeah, it's round robin. It's play all 4. And then you get 1 point per win and 1 extra point for winning the set, right? This is what, I mean, all these teams have to play each other once. It's early. This spoils what happens in the first set. If you didn't watch that, you should watch it. They were great games. But then it basically fills this bracket out. Eventually, once we get to this grand final, there's the Garrison LAN, which will have the 3v3 event as well as a separate 1v1 event. So there's a lot of things happening all at once, right? So yes,